Good morning, good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is your pre-market briefing for Friday, February 13th. Inflation data came in softer on the surface. Earnings reactions are once again defying logic, and the market is reminding us that expectations matter more than headlines. Today looks like a session where humility and positioning will determine who wins, not just the numbers themselves. This show is for education and entertainment only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable, I am skilled, I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. Let's check out Forex Factory. At 5:30 a.m., we had 3 red folder releases. Core CPI month over month came in exactly in line with the forecast at 0.3%. CPI month over month came in at 0.2%, below the 0.3% forecast. That suggests inflation pressure is easing slightly at the headline level. CPI year over year came in at 2.4%, below the 2.5% forecast. That reinforces the idea that inflation is gradually cooling. Overall, inflation data came in softer than expected, which could support risk sentiment, but markets will interpret this through positioning and forward guidance expectations. Okay, so we had some earnings yesterday after market close. Let's check it out. We had Coinbase. Check this out, y'all. Coinbase missed earnings by 348%. I guess because crypto has been getting demolished. Coinbase earnings have been getting demolished as well. And they had a small miss on revenue. But as you can see on the chart here, this thing went up. Can you believe it? It's actually up 9% since yesterday's close. Okay, so next is ANET. ANET beat earnings by 8%, and it beat revenue by 4%. It's up almost 8% since market close yesterday. DraftKings, phenomenal beat. DraftKings beat by 177%. Slight miss, very, very slight miss on revenue. But as you can see, it's down. It's down about 15% since market close. So you can tell that earnings, it don't matter. You never know what's going to happen with earnings. Okay, last AMAT. They beat on earnings by 7% and revenue by 2%. It's up very nicely. Let's see. It's up 10% since market close. And then in the pre-market, we have Moderna. Moderna beat by 17% on earnings and almost 7% on revenue. Let's see how much is up. Moderna is up almost 3% since market close. All right, let's get into Robert Greene's daily law. Today's daily law: revert to childlike dependence. Act like those you interact with know so much more than you. The idea is humility in learning. When entering a new environment, you temporarily adopt the mindset mindset of dependence, assuming others know more than you, so that your curiosity opens up and you absorb knowledge faster. This mindset is not permanent weakness. It is strategic humility. You can lower your ego so you can accelerate your growth. Long-term investors benefit tremendously from intellectual humility. Assuming you already know everything about markets leads to overconfidence and poor risk management. Instead, approaching the market with curiosity, studying earnings, cycles, management behavior, and macro trends allows knowledge to compound. The investor who remains a student for years eventually earns independence and conviction built on evidence, not ego. In trading, ego is expensive. Assuming the market should move a certain way blinds traders to real-time information. A childlike mindset, curious, open, and observant, allows traders to adapt to price action instead of fighting it. Temporary humility leads to long-term mastery. Okay, in the Asian session, Asian markets traded mixed overnight as investors reacted to softer inflation data. Technology shares showed selective strength, while broader indices remained cautious. The London session, European markets opened moderately positive, digesting U.S. CPI data and positioning ahead of U.S. market open. Inflation cooling appears supportive, but traders remain focused on corporate guidance and forward expectations. I'm going to need to update the Asian session and London session in ChatGPT for moving forward. If you caught it, you caught it. Okay, part number 7. Inflation is cooling at the margin. Earnings reactions remain unpredictable. Expectations continue to drive price. Today's about humility. Observe before acting. Let the market teach you. Discipline compounds. Curiosity accelerates. This is $1 Trillion Tickers, and I'm your host, Matt Riches. Let's check out the market caps of some of our most valuable companies in the world. Starting with NVIDIA, $4.55 trillion. Apple, $3.84 trillion. Google, $3.74 trillion. Microsoft, $2.98 trillion. Amazon, $2.14 trillion. TSM, $1.90 trillion. Meta, $1.64 trillion. EVGO, $1.57 trillion. Tesla, $1.56 trillion. Berkshire B, $1.07 trillion. And Walmart, $1.06 trillion. Ooh, Walmart have a good day today. They might pass up Berkshire today, y'all. Looks like Nvidia is still in the consolidation zone. I think it broke above temporarily, but it is back in there, y'all. Alright, so if you're looking at my screen now, you can see these 8 charts. This is the TradingView platform. Top left-hand corner is NVIDIA, followed by, to the right, by Google, Apple, Microsoft. Underneath NVIDIA, we have Amazon. To the right, we have TSM, AVGO, and Meta Platforms. All right, so let's check out. Yeah, Moderna is running, y'all. Moderna is running. Check out the pre-market levels on our $1 Trillion Tickers. NVIDIA in the pre-market is at 187.42. Google in the pre-market is at 307.80. Apple in the pre-market 262.44. Microsoft in the pre-market 403.55. Amazon 199.03 in the pre-market. TSM 370.08 in the pre-market. AVGO 330.67 in the pre-market. Meta 645.50 in the pre-market. Tesla 417.12 in the pre-market. Berkshire B 499.50 in the pre-market. And Walmart. Oh, looks like Walmart hit an all-time high yesterday, y'all. Walmart is 132.47 in the pre-market. All right, let's check out some news. We got a few minutes before market open. Let me type good morning in the chat right quick. And you know, peace, blessings, financial freedom in the chat too. All right, here we go. Check out the news, y'all. What we got? This is from the Financial Times. The decision puts Jane Fraser among the highest paid banking bosses on Wall Street. Just $1 million shy of the $34 million paid to JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon in 2025, y'all. So Citigroup raised their chief executive, Jane Fraser's pay to a record $42 million, y'all. Salute to her, man. That's big paper. All right, next is from Forbes. Goldman Sachs top lawyer resigns after Epstein files reveals emails to Uncle Jeffrey. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. Donald Trump, this is from the Kobayashi letter. Donald Trump said he's planning to scale back tariffs on steel and aluminum goods. All right, we got about 20 seconds before market open. All right, here we go, y'all. Market open, market open, market open. The market is open. 6:30 a.m. February 13th, 2026. Let's see how our $1 trillion tickers are moving. NVIDIA is down 0.25% at 186.13. Google is down almost 1% at 306.17. Apple is barely at break even at 261.56. Microsoft is up almost 0.5% at 403.41. Amazon is down almost 0.5% at 198.98. TSM, looks like TSM hit an all-time high yesterday. But TSM is currently down almost 0.75% at 365. ABGO is barely in a break even at 331. Meta is down over 1% at 642.38. Tesla is down almost 0.5% at 415.58. Berkshire B is up 0.25% at 501.39. And Walmart is down over 1% at 132.10, y'all. All right, well, I read some more news. Let's check out. I'm going to put this on the screen so you can see it here. Let's see. We got a quick clip from Tom Lee, y'all. Let's check it out.
What about that, Tom? Overdone in the concern about all that spending? Because it's taken a toll. And every time one of these large companies comes out and says we're spending and it's greater than the market had anticipated, the stocks just shoot lower.
Yeah, Scott, as these other guests point out, data centers, industrials, materials, energy, Caterpillar, they're all tied to the same thing, which is it's either armies or the bullet makers. And I think the market is starting to want to own the bullet makers, not the armies, which are the Mag 7. I think it is all one trade because it is, of course, about AI and the race to build an agentic model. So they are ultimately one trade. That's one reason why I think Mag 7 will come back and the multiples will expand because these do have durable businesses. But at the same time, I think gold still is just distracting the market because it's been such a big source of alpha.
Yeah.
Excuse me, y'all. I had to grab my coffee. What Tom Lee talking about, y'all? Let me run it back.
What about that, Tom? Overdone in the concern about all that spending? Because it's taken a toll. And every time one of these large companies comes out and says we're spending and it's greater than the market had anticipated, the stocks just shoot lower.
Yeah, Scott, as these other guests point out, data centers, industrials, materials, energy, Caterpillar, they're all tied to the same thing, which is it's either armies or the bullet makers. And I think the market is starting to want to own the bullet makers, not the armies, which are the Mag 7. I think it is all one trade because it is, of course, about AI and the race to build an agentic model. So they are ultimately one trade. That's one reason why I think Mag 7 will come back and the multiples will expand because these do have durable businesses. But at the same time, I think gold still is just distracting the market because it's been such a big source of alpha.
Damn. Man, they gonna come back. They gonna come back to the Mag 7. I mean, it's been running for years, so we gotta expect some profit taking, some rotation before it comes back. We good. Okay. Next is Walter Bloomberg. He said, high-income Americans start falling behind on payments. Financial stress is spreading beyond low-income households, with higher earners now struggling to keep up with debt. Credit counseling agencies report that the average client earns $70,000 a year and carries $35,000 in unsecured debt, double the pre-pandemic ratio. More borrowers are missing payments, even on structured repayment plans, pushing the NFCC's financial stress gauge to record highs. Federal data shows U.S. household delinquencies at 4.8%, the highest since 2017, with serious credit card and auto loan deficiencies near post-2009 levels. Counselors warn that many households rely on revolving credit as a lifeline, masking deeper financial fragility. When buffers run out, stress spikes sharply. Dang. That's crazy, y'all. Well, high earners, welcome to the club. Let's see how you deal with it. Next, this is from the Kobayashi letter. Russia is considering moving back to the U.S. dollar as part of a wide-ranging economic partnership with President Trump. The partnership would include U.S. and Russia working together on fossil fuels, joint investments in natural gas, offshore oil and critical raw material partnerships, windfalls for U.S. companies, Russia's return to the USD settlement system. If finalized, the deal would change the global economy. Let's go! Let's go! That would definitely strengthen the U.S. dollar if Russia starts using it again, y'all. So, I guess Trump chopping it up with Russia, man, making it happen. If he can make that happen, that's definitely highly beneficial for the U.S., y'all. All right, next. This is from Stock Talk on Twitter. He said, cost basis is king. You can't sit through volatility, nor can you enjoy the luxury of zooming out to weekly, monthly charts if your back is against the wall. Your psychological ability to manage a position is dramatically different when you're underwater. Buy at the right prices. Big facts, big facts. All right, next, let's check out the sectors. See where money is moving out of and money is moving into. XLK barely under break even at 139.18. XLY barely under break even at 116.04. XLC down 0.5% at 114.04. XLF is down 0.5% at 51.41. XLV is up almost 1.5% at 158.19. XLP is down fractionally at 89.10. XLE is up almost 0.25% at 54.10. XLU is up 0.5% at 45.48. XLI is up almost 0.75% at 173.93. XLB is down almost 0.25% at 52.72. And XLRE is up 0.5% at 43.08, y'all. Let's check out this clip from Bernie Sanders.
AI and robotics is a huge threat to the working class of this country. The issue here, which is very profound, technology has always changed the world. The automobile changed the world. Electricity changed the world. Radio changed the world back then. Television changed the world. Computers changed the world. The internet changed the world. That ain't nothing compared to what we're looking at right now. This will be the most sweeping technological revolution in the history of humanity. And we have got to be prepared to say as loud and clear as we can that this technology is not just going to benefit the billionaires who own it, but it's going to work for the working families of our country.
Let's go, Bernie. Let's go. Just in case it doesn't work for us, we need to invest in those trillion-dollar companies. At least we could get some benefit. But white collar getting their jobs taken too. We talked about that this week. Okay, this next clip, or this next idea comes from Investing Bay on Twitter. She said, the first 100K is the hardest. The next one is just consistency, y'all. Okay, check this out. So, in China, Chinese schools are already putting cyberpunk ideas into practice. Artificial intelligence now reviews homework by scanning notebooks, grading assignments automatically, and printing feedback that highlights errors. By removing repetitive grading tasks, teachers gain more time to support students individually and focus on closing actual learning gaps. That is fire, y'all. That is fire, man. China is so ahead of the United States, man. This definitely needs to be implemented in the United States, so the teachers could get back to teaching instead of grading all this damn work. Shout out China, man. Great idea. All right, next. Michael Burry put out the Substack for his views on Palantir. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that Substack into AI, and it's going to create a podcast form explanation, deep dive. So I'm going to do that within the next week, and we'll get to it. But he's definitely super bearish on Palantir. All right. Next comes from Unusual Wealth. Hedge funds made $24 billion shorting software stocks so far in 2026, and they're increasing the bet. Ooh, they made a bag, huh? They made a bag on that. All right, let's check out some of these other stocks we like to check out on the show. SPX is down almost 0.75% at 6,793. SPY is down 0.5% at 677.63. The NAS 100 is down almost 1% at 24,498. QQQ is down over 0.5% at 596. The Dow Jones is back under 50,000, y'all. The Dow Jones is at 49,100. The Dow Jones ETF is down over 0.5% at 491. The VIX is back up. The VIX is spiking, y'all. The VIX is up almost 6%. The VIX is up to $22.25. The 10-year Treasury yield continues to fall, y'all. The 10-year is now at 406. Gold is still under 5,000. Looks like it just rejected this $5,000 level and is now at 4,973. The gold ETF you can buy for $98.50 is up over 1% today. The Silver Trust, the iShares Silver Trust, you can buy for $69.43. Looks like it closed this gap yesterday, so we can go ahead and delete this off the chart. The Copper Miners ETF looks like it just closed this gap today, so we can go ahead and delete this off the chart. This is down almost 2% at 85.64. Bitcoin still struggling, y'all. Bitcoin is at $67,100. iBit is up almost 3% today at 38.07. Ethereum is up 1.5%, but it's still not above 2,000. It's at 1,977. BMNR is up almost 3% at $20.29. AMD is up almost 0.75% at 207.52. Palantir is under 130, y'all. Palantir is down 0.5% at 128.50. I wonder how much of Michael Burry's view on Palantir and his Substack actually made people sell it off. I don't know. Robinhood is up 2.25% at 72. Robinhood, damn. Robinhood getting destroyed, y'all. Robinhood can't bounce back without crypto. That's what it looked like. Robinhood cannot bounce back without crypto, y'all. All right, it's Black History Month, so let's get into one of the greatest black men in history, Malcolm X. He gonna break it down, y'all.
Feel, however, that we're making progress in this country and worldwide?
No. I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. If you pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
Talk about it to little brother Malcolm. Let him know. That's that real. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see all these phenomenal, unique hairstyles that black men had back in Africa. I'm going to just read this, a little bit of it right quick. Some men's hairstyles during pre-colonial Africa. Long before colonial borders were drawn and long before European influence reshaped much of the continent, African societies had highly developed cultural systems, including distinct traditions of grooming, hair design, and identity. Across various regions of Africa, hairstyles were not simply aesthetic choices. They often communicated age, marital status, spiritual beliefs, clan affiliation, rank, or warrior status. In many societies, hair was considered sacred, a connection between the individual and the spiritual world. From intricate braiding patterns to sculpted crests, shaved designs, symbolic shapes, and elaborate stylings using clay, beads, or natural oils, men's hairstyles could signal readiness for initiation, leadership, or military service. Some styles were worn by warriors, others by elders, and some marked rites of passage from youth to adulthood. These traditions were not random or ornamental. They were structured cultural languages, Each design carried meaning within the community. Pre-colonial Africa was home to thousands of ethnic groups and kingdoms, each with their own aesthetic codes. Hairstyles reflected diversity across regions such as West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, and Southern Africa. What one group wore differed significantly from another, shaped by climate, environment, and cultural values. Colonial influence and missionary pressures often discourage or suppress traditional grooming practices, labeled them as uncivilized, yet many of these styles survived, evolved, and continue to influence modern Africa and the diaspora fashion today. Understand, pre-colonial African hairstyles help correct the common misconception that African societies lack complexity. Couldn't say that word, correct? Before European contrast. In reality, cultural sophistication was deeply embedded in daily life, including personal presentation. If you're watching on YouTube, yeah, bro hair right here in the top left hand corner, that is dope. That is, man, how did you even do that? And then I see bro right here with the braids and the clay and the beads. Bro right here, he got a little fade. Bro right here got the waves. He got the 360s. Bro right here, he look like where they got the idea from Dragon Ball Z. Who would have known? Who would have known the idea from the main character from Dragon Ball Z would have gotten his hairstyle idea from pre-colonial Africa? Yes. Shout out to that. And this brother hair right here, this is wow. This looks like a hat. This is crazy. But man, hey. And then this brother right here, yeah, I think he got some clay in there too. And then bro right here, yeah, he got some spikes. Got the spikes. So we've been doing spikes way before the mohawk. We've been doing spikes on our head. Sister right here got some unique braids. And yeah, I mean, brother right there got some unique braids. All right, next. Let's see. The United States and Taiwan just signed a trade deal. The U.S. will lower tariffs on Taiwanese exports to 15%. Taiwan will remove or reduce 99% of tariff barriers on U.S. goods, as well as providing preferential market access for U.S. industrial and agricultural exports. Taiwan was also committed to buy 84 plus billion in U.S. goods, including energy and aviation products. So that's good. They came to an agreement, so that should definitely help the markets. Hopefully it does, unless it was already baked in. All right. The U.S. is expected to add companies, including Alibaba, to the Pentagon list of firms allegedly aiding Chinese military today, y'all. Next, the head of Dubai-based logistics group DP World has left his post after revelations over his ties with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, y'all. Epstein had a reach worldwide. All right, next, Warren Buffett just got a $61.9 million dividend check from Apple. Buffett and Berkshire B own 238.2 million shares of Apple at the end of Q3. And they paid out a dividend of 0.26 cents per share. Incredible, y'all. Incredible. So everybody that own Apple, we got a dividend check. Check your account. Let's go. Next. The Pentagon is sending the Navy's largest and most advanced aircraft carrier to the Middle East as the U.S. steps up plans for a potential attack on Iran. Oh, The markets are not going to like that, except the defense companies. Next, this is from Business Insider on Twitter. Some employers are now embracing AI in parts of the hiring process. Employers like Meta and Canva say it mirrors its use. Employers like Meta and Canva say its use mirrors real-world work and reveals problem-solving skills. More hiring managers want you to prove you're good with AI. Damn. Oh, bless me. More hiring managers want you to prove you're good with AI during a job interview, y'all. They said you got to prove that you're good with AI during a job interview. So if you think AI not going to take your job, and it does, when you go to get another job, you got to prove that you know how to use AI. So during that time that you laid off, you need to go learn how to use it because they're going to ask you about it in your next interview. Next. Dell is removing all commission-based pay for sellers who achieve less than 60% of their sales targets. If you are getting paid commission and you're making less than 60% of your sales targets, you're not going to be making commission no more. That's crazy that you even still have a job if you made less than 60% of your sales target. All right, next. Gen Zers and millennials are swimming in student debt and may never own homes, but they're still splurging on gut-healthy juices and rotisserie chickens, per the Wall Street Journal. I thought that was pretty funny. All right. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see this is from China. First grade children are having a math competition on an interactive whiteboard. They compete in fun games by solving arithmetic problems, making math learning and super engaging. This is so dope. This is so dope, man. I wish I had something like this to help teach math in a classroom. Yeah, we definitely in the future, y'all. Shout out to China, man, for making sure that the next generation is going to thrive in this age of technology and AI. All right, let's check out the heat map. NVIDIA down almost 1 3/4%. A lot of red in finance, a lot of green in healthcare, a lot of green in producer manufacturing, a lot of green and gray in utilities. Technology is a mix. Let's see. All right, now let's check out the sectors. The strongest sectors for today are healthcare and utilities, both up almost 1.25%. And the laggard for today, well, they're all pretty. Oh, it's consumer staples down over 0.5%. All right, let's run the prices on our $1 trillion tickers again. NVIDIA down 2.25% at 182.51. Google is down almost 1% at 306.54. Apple is down 1% at 259. Microsoft is up fractionally at 402.50. Amazon is down 0.75%. TSM is down 1.5%. AVGO is down almost 1%. Meta is down over 1%. Tesla is down almost 1%. Berkshire B is down 0.5%. And Walmart is down over 1%. Trend dollar tickers are mostly red for today, except Microsoft, y'all. Currently, we'll see what happens throughout the day. All right. Yeah, we're gonna cut this show short today. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be charting. Before we do that, let's check out the daily chart and see some of the movements on our trend dollar tickers. Okay. So Nvidia, it did come to the top, very close to the top, within $1.50 of the top of the consolidation box, but it has since dropped, and now it's halfway. It's at the 50% mark of the consolidation box now. Unfortunately, it was not strong enough to break out, so it's in the middle of the box again. Do we have any trend lines? Could draw this trend line here. All right. Any downside trend lines? There we are. Okay, that's what we got. I do got a weekly level at 182.40, so it should be some support right there. If not, it ain't going under 180, y'all. Google actually broke underneath our short-term support here, which came back from December. All right, so if Google continues to fall, I got it going to 300. It needs to retest this support level and come back to the upside. If not, I got it going to 300, y'all. I mean, it did hit an all-time high on February 3rd, so maybe it's still profit taking. All right, Apple, man. Apple was doing so good. Man. From when it hit this trend line on January 20th, Apple was running, y'all. Apple was running. This thing hit the trend line at 243, and that thing ran up to 280. And now, yesterday, it sold off 5%, though. So all that bullish momentum is gone out of Apple now. I do got a level here at 258. We'll see. Microsoft. Okay, so the most recent lower low on Microsoft is 392.32. So as long as it stays above that, then this will be a higher low, which is bullish. But if it does break that, I got to go under 390. I do have a weekly level at 388.50. So it needs to stay above 392.32, and then it needs to break this 423.80 for me to be bullish. All right, Amazon selling off crazy. Amazon is under 200, y'all. Amazon been selling off crazy this whole month, y'all. Which it is February, so we should expect sell-off in tech. Sell-off in the whole market, but especially tech. So, yes, Amazon is following suit. Look at this Taiwan semi-candle. What the heck is going on? Is that a real candle? No, that's a fake candle. Remember we had that other fake candle on Meta a couple weeks ago? Yeah, we got another one printed here on TSM on the daily. I'm like, I know it didn't go that low. Hell no. But I'm gonna delete this gap. This gap has been filled. But TSM is still very close to all-time highs. Let's see if it can find some support on this diagonal trend line. AVGO came up to this weekly level at 352. It sold off hard. Now it's at 329, y'all. Could have played that reject right there. Yeah, it's looking bearish. It does got a long way to go before it hits the lower low, so it may just consolidate in this area before it figures out which way it wants to go, y'all. Meta. Meta gapped up on earnings and sold off, and now it's coming back to this gap. Damn. Terrible. Meta is actually under the opening price for this year. Tesla rejected this weekly level at 437.50, and now it's selling off. It's at 413 right now. Yeah. I won't be bullish on Tesla until it breaks 437.50, and it needs to hold this 387.50 or it's gonna be trouble. Berkshire B back in the consolidation zone, and Walmart just hit all-time high yesterday. All right, appreciate y'all for tuning in. $1 trillion tickers. I'm your host, Matt Riches. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be charting since the market will be closed. We'll be charting tomorrow, 6:15 a.m. You can put your tickers in the chat. Put your tickers in the comments, or come by tomorrow and put your ticker in the chat, and we will chart your tickers, y'all. Whatever you want to chart. Well, I think it's a holiday on Monday. Well, first we're going to chart the $1 trillion tickers, because that's the show. But I think there's a holiday coming up. So on a holiday, we could chart whatever you guys want to chart. So just let me know, and we can do it like that, y'all. All right. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.